You know, it's funny. Sometimes the biggest lessons don't come from the newest app or some viral video. They come from something forgotten, sitting on a dusty shelf. What if a simple old school textbook could actually teach us something really essential about how we work and live today? Okay, let's get into this. So, check this out. This is a vocational guide called Metalwork 6, and it's from the Punjab Textbook Board in Lahore, Pakistan. Now, this wasn't for weekend hobbyists. This was a real deal manual for students who were learning a trade, a craft, with their own two hands. And it takes us back to a time when that connection between a person and the thing they were making was, well, it was direct. It was tangible. You really understood it. This book is like a little window into that entire world. The first thing that just jumps out at you is how logical the book's structure is. It doesn't just throw you into making stuff. Nope. The very first chapter is all about Hifasadi Tadabir, or safety measures. Only after you've built that solid foundation of safety does it even think about moving on to projects, like making a handle or a wall hook. It builds your knowledge layer by layer from the ground up. So let's start right where the book starts, because it teaches you that before you can create anything of value, you have to create an environment of respect. Respect for yourself, for your tools, and for your workspace. I mean, get this. The book's entire first chapter is dedicated just to safety. It's so meticulous. It breaks it all down, right? You've got your personal safety, how to use hand tools properly, electrical tool safety, handling raw materials, and even how to keep the workshop itself safe. This isn't just a boring list of rules, it's a whole philosophy of caution. And this is a perfect illustration of what they mean by personal safety. Just look at the details here. The sleeves are rolled up so they don't get caught in the machine. He's wearing an apron. His posture is focused, it's stable. Every single element is about controlling your environment to stop an accident before it can even happen. And this incredible attention to detail, it's everywhere. The book is basically teaching you that this isn't just one way to hold a file, this is the right way. And that shows this profound respect for the tool itself, you know? It's rooted in this idea that the correct technique is always going to be the safest and the most effective. Okay, so once you've got safety down pat, you can start to really understand the instruments of the craft. And the book treats them less like objects and more like partners in the work you're about to do. Take something as simple as a hammer. It's not just a hammer. The book shows you several different types, like a cross peen or a straight peen hammer. And each one has a totally distinct shape for a distinct job. One might be for making curves, another for creating sharp corners. The lesson couldn't be clearer. You gotta choose the right tool for the job. And it's the exact same story with files. The book sorts them by their shape because the form dictates the function. A square file is for, you guessed it, square holes. A round file is for round holes. A triangular one for cleaning out sharp corners. It's just a beautifully simple and logical system. All right, we've covered safety, we've covered the tools. Now for the really fun part. Let's actually follow the book's instructions and make something. We're going to forge a simple chain, step by step. The whole process starts with the most basic, fundamental actions. You take your raw material, just a simple piece of metal wire, and you get it ready. You straighten it out, you measure and cut it, and then you make that first very precise bend. Every single step is deliberate and builds right on top of the last one. And right here, in step 5, this is where the transformation really begins. The wire is carefully bent around a jig, which is a tool that makes sure every single link is going to be exactly the same. This takes steady hands, real focus. You're literally imposing your will and a very specific shape onto this material. And then here, in step 8, the two ends of the wire finally meet. What was just a bent piece of metal a minute ago now has the unmistakable shape of a link. It's a complete, single unit, but it's still just waiting to become part of something bigger. Now this is the moment it all comes together. A new, straight piece of wire is threaded through the link you just finished before you bend it. Then you just repeat the process. And that simple, elegant logic is how a chain is born. One link, patiently, carefully connected to the next. It's really satisfying to see how it's made, isn't it? But, following these steps teaches you way more than just how to make a chain. It really makes you ask the question, what are we really learning from a guide like this? So let's zoom out for a second. The true value of this forgotten old textbook isn't in the objects it teaches you how to make. It's in the mindset it helps you build. Ultimately, this is the core idea right here. The process teaches more than the product. To make that chain, you have to have patience, you need precision, and you need the focus to just take it one small step at a time. And those aren't just metalworking skills, those are life skills.
And that's exactly why this matters so much today. We live in this age of instant gratification, right? One-click purchases and AI generating everything for us. A guide like this is a quiet but really powerful reminder that there's immense value and deep satisfaction in doing slow, deliberate, mindful work. It's about taking a raw material and just, through your own effort and your own skill, transforming it into something useful, something complete, made by hand, step by step. Maybe that's a lesson worth remembering.